People hearing footsteps, the sound of cells opening and closing. There's been deaths here. The old Idaho Penitentiary absolutely is haunted.
We're getting ready to go in there and see who is still left over from the old days of real people being locked in there.
Now they're just ghosts locked in there. Do you think they know?
That's a really good question, actually.
I guess we'll have to ask.
Do you think, yeah, you ask.
I will.
I'm going to ask him with this contraption that apparently is custom built to take pictures of ghosts.
I have this.
And I've also got a clean pair of underwear for whatever may or may not happen. I've never done anything like this before in my life. Like, not even close. I've never even been into a real prison before.
See, I've been here a couple times, and when I get a spooky feeling every time. Maybe it's just because I'm like a paranoid person in general. I also downed a Red Bull before we came here, so I'm already like, my anxiety is spiked by about 10,000. So if I hear or see anything, regardless of if it's real or not, I'm outie.
So you're into ghosts, like this is your jive, right?
Yeah, it's my jam. I'm a 100% believer.
I'm agnostic when it comes to ghosts. I don't necessarily not believe in them, but I just kind of need a little more than just, hey, look, here's a Photoshop photo.
I've never seen a ghost. I just have like stories from like family members and stuff that I'm like, you can't.
Wait, so you've never seen a ghost
I've never
either?
seen a ghost.
So,
I'm just a believer upon like by story. I'm just a hand-me-down believer.
So how do you know then? How do you believe if you haven't actually seen anything?
I don't know. How do kids believe in Santa Claus?
That's exactly my point. Without ruining anything, it's, the Santa Claus thing. I mean, that's kind of my point, though, right?
Yeah, I
right?
understand.
So,
I get where you're coming from. I
What
do.
about Santa Claus? What are you guys not telling me?
It's a long story. I'll tell you when you're older, Doug.
I'm a big advocate of scary movies. I love watching scary movies. I love scary movie things. And so maybe just like in my brain, I'm like, this is gonna happen. It's a real horror movie.
Here's what I expect to happen.
Okay, let's hear it.
Nothing.
Okay.
But I'm also willing to be proven wrong. Me, I kind of expect to just wander around looking at walls in the dark with an infrared camera. I'm open to the possibility, even if I'm not necessarily yay ghosts.
Right.
I'm not on the team ghost train.
Maybe because I'm pro ghost, they're gonna just be really nice to me. But we're in a prison where ghosts have been trapped for years, potentially.
We've heard stories from guests and from investigators about most every area of the site. Personally, I'm a haunted house guy. I work on our Halloween events and things like that, so I'm very used to this sort of thing. So I don't know if they leave me alone because I work here or not, but I just look forward to seeing what everyone else comes in contact with. There were close to 120 different fatalities here, and that includes the 10 people who were executed, as well as other murders, suicides, deaths in the hospital of natural causes or disease.
And just to clarify, that was when it was a prison,
That was when it was
not people coming to visit, right?
Historic, yeah, pre-1973 when the prison closed.
Okay.
And so most all of the buildings on site and areas of the site have some sort of history.
You've worked here for years, right?
I
And
have.
you've seen people come and go into this thing at night, and you've probably heard people all up and down, yes, no, and you probably heard people run out of here like screaming for their lives, right?
Absolutely. I think it's amazing. If there is paranormal activity, that may be why they tend to leave the staff alone, because we're the stewards of their stories. We don't discount anything.
So it sounds like just because you've never seen anything or heard anything or felt anything or any of those other things that can happen, you don't discount the possibility that it could be there.
Absolutely.
Just it's never happened to you.
Absolutely not.
Do you?
We would love to have a definitive answer someday, but I don't discount anything. No.
You secretly hope that you'll have an experience like that?
I think it'd be pretty cool.
I'll wrap it up with one question.
Sure.
Just one question. You've never seen anything, but you're not necessarily. You don't believe there's nothing here. You just haven't personally witnessed anything.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that if this activity is real, that this is as good a place as any.
So would you? I'm not asking you to do it. I'm just saying. Since you've never experienced anything, would you be perfectly comfortable just walking around here at night by yourself?
Mostly. I mean, we do it. as staff members here, we do it. At the very end of the night tonight, one of us is gonna have to go out and walk up the site, once everyone's gone. So it's not something we don't do. And I've done it before, and and we keep the lights off for this event, and it's incredibly spooky. it's
spooky, but still nothing sexy.
Oh well, nothing that I would pinpoint as that. Noises that I wish I hadn't heard, but
Whoa. You can't just drop a bomb like that and be like, noises I wish I hadn't have heard, but nothing's ever happened to me. That's huge.
I mean, like fences rattling and stuff like that temporarily spook me out.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought when you said noises I wish I hadn't heard.
No, yeah, I mean like
screaming or something.
The jump scares that you later figure out.
Okay,
but I'm never gonna discount anything. That's the moral of the story. Is that I love hearing everybody's encounters and stories.
The old Idaho Penitentiary absolutely is haunted. I've been touched here. I was up against the cell doors. It felt like a man reached up and ran his fingers through my hair. And then I heard, "Ooh, pretty," in a man's voice. That's why we do our investigations, and we just hope that something will happen throughout the night.
I'm like the same way with history. Like I get like so pumped about history. I'm like, this is so freaking cool. So I'm excited because it's super historical.
No, I love history too. I just can't remember dates.
Hope
there's not going to be a test for dates.
There is. At the end of this, they test you at 2 in the morning when we're done and exhausted and kind of spooked. They sit you down and take a test. That's the scariest part of this whole thing.
Now, see, to me, that's scarier than the possibility of seeing a ghost.
Of being touched by a ghost, yeah, I agree.
So where are we going?
Solitary. They call it Siberia.
Because it's cold?
No, because it's solitary. So.
You seem like legitimately freaked out right now.
I am. This is the one place that like makes me like genuinely scared.
So this room was a punishment room with a basically solitary confinement. And you can go ahead and go in these rooms. This is where they were kept for 11 weeks plus at a time. And you can get it if you were today.
My heart is like, gonna beat out of my chest. I'm gonna die of a heart attack before anything even happens. And then I'll haunt this place too.
When we go next door, that's where a suicide happened. We're gonna have somebody go in this dark room right here, volunteer. And if you want to tap them on the shoulder, feel free. Yep.
Someone thinks there will be a ghost over here in this room.
No, it's that.
We'll see what we can do.
Okay. I just get spooked in general. I don't know if that counts.
I get that from time to time, but I don't get it here.
I get it in here, like as soon as we walked in, like the hairs on my neck stood up. I think it's just because it's solitary, and so that freaks me out.
I haven't heard of anything. I've been in here in the daytime, and it feels completely normal. In the dark, for me, it feels completely normal here, but
It feels normal to me too.
it doesn't feel different.
Even what do you feel?
You know when you can like, when someone's like right about to like jump out and scare you, and you can like feel them coming from behind you? That's just how I feel like all the time right now.
Is that in this room specifically, or this?
No, just this whole night is probably gonna feel like that, but especially in this room, I'm like waiting. I'm not scared of the dark by any stretch, but I don't know. I think it's really just our location more than anything else.
Okay.
One of the things that's very important to us as paranormal investigators and people that have been doing it for a long time is to be able to educate the public and educate the public on how it is that we really do things, because what they get is a glimpse of what they see on TV and what that might be like. And this way they get to actually experience the real deal. It's not just a typical ghost tour that you can go on a historic city. We do an actual investigation here, so what's going to happen, we'll have 5 teams, and then they'll visit each building and conduct an investigation throughout the night.
This is just my phone. It's an EVP recorder, and it's detecting different frequencies. There was one, it was 190.
Compared to an average person, which is?
An average person can change multiple frequencies on an average on a second, so usually if it's something else, it will fluctuate a lot less because it's their body mass, which they don't have. It was like 190 right.
So it's like right here.
Yeah, it was really back here, and the one I got the most. It goes from 80 to 81.
That's why I came back here. I thought, well, maybe if I stand back here, I'll feel something. It's really echoey, though. You guys hear that?
I hear that.
I bet I could sing amazing in this room.
Give it a shot, man.
What's a good prison song?
A good one.
Good prison song?
16 tons, what do you get?
Oh, that's that song.
Another day closer and deeper in debt. I ain't going to work in the store. What is, I don't know what the words. Field no more.
Nothing beats folks in prison.
I sold my soul to the company store.
Well, I've got nothing. You guys got anything?
Just the chills.
Do you have the chills?
Yes.
You wanna come
This
stand
place,
back here?
no. This is about as far as in as I'll go, probably, in this room.
You gotta get in now. Face your
This
fears.
is as far as I'm coming in.
Come stand back here. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No? That's what I'm not gonna do.
So what was the story behind this room?
Some guy killed himself in here, right?
Yes.
Vern?
Vernon McBride.
Vernon. Vern.
Wonder why.
In 1931.
And how?
There's a bat. That's my final straw. I'm out.
He shouldn't hit you if he's flying right, but. Whoa, sorry, it's wrong.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm checking here.
See that lead?
Oh, yeah, another bat.
Yeah, it's bad.
He keeps going to that top corner of the plastic. Oh, he went outside.
I don't feel anything. Not the slightest thing at all. I mean,
Just keep getting my...
It's warm. I'm all sweaty.
oh, I definitely feel the heat,
Yeah, I feel the heat.
but I don't feel anything. I keep waiting, but it's I'm trying.
I was more scared of the bat than anything else, though.
That bat was awesome, though. Agreed?
That was.
No.
Best part so far?
I try not to let it suck my blood so I
Scariest
wouldn't become a
part.
ghost. Or am I mixing up my
You
monsters?
actually become a werewolf,
Okay.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. You're mixing up your genres again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just sitting in the back of the corner, my friend had told me there's just weird vibes, which I felt because I didn't want to leave this room. And not to be cliche or anything, but something like glanced against my head. So I turned around to see if it was a web or something. There was nothing there.
Excuse me. Thank you.
There's nothing there. It's just weird when it happens to you. You know, you see it and you hear it, and then it happens to you, and you're just like, what is that? Very strange, but it's right in that corner. Like I said, on there, it says devil and die. I wasn't even touching the walls or nothing. I was just kind of out, and it almost felt like it ran into spider webs or something.
Anything?
You want to stand here with me?
No?
You sure?
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, friend.
Bye, ghosties. Bye, little guys.
I would say a majority of the time I don't get scared. I don't. I get more curious. I want to know what's happening. I want to investigate further. But this is what we do. We're paranormal investigators, so we want these types of things to happen, and we want to be able to capture them.
All right, everybody, this is the barber shop. And in 1922, Jewel Frank committed suicide in this room. And William Wilde was murdered by a fellow inmate in here during 1920. So this room has the potential for some pretty good activity.
How many are in here with us?
Jewel, tell us why you committed suicide in this room.
Were you alone when you committed suicide?
The murder took place in this room. Do you want to talk to us about it and tell us about it? We couldn't quite hear you. Do you want to try to say that again? Did somebody just make noise?
I heard that too.
I heard that stomach growl.
We heard knocking from within the wall. Can you do that again?
I feel like I'm probably just making it up, but like when I'll get really itchy or I'll feel like something's crawling on me, which is probably like a bug or something. Also could be a ghost, but probably a bug.
A ghost bug.
A ghost bug. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely heard the taps, but without it being replicated,
See, I
I'm
didn't
not
hear
well.
the taps.
I totally heard him. And I saw him turn around to look too, so who knows? But it never happened again, so I can't.
Yeah, and I
can't.
didn't hear it at all.
The closest I've come to noticing a ghost. If
the
that's what it
tabs?
was. If that's what it was.
Guess we'll find out.
How?
And then just smash into you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they'll do their EVP listening.
Well, I ran
They
my
can
camera around,
determine-
and I went back in that corner and it was cold, but I swear there's like a draft in there. That's
Yeah.
why I was moving my hand around.
Yeah.
So I got real excited for a second, then I was like, wait, there's a giant hole in the ceiling here.
There's a door right next to you, yeah.
First to be replaced.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Sound like a no or like a whispered no, didn't it?
We're gonna have somebody stick their hand through the hole. Can you touch their hand when they do it?
Notice anything, Luke?
Nope, I haven't felt nothing.
I think the laundry room felt the spookiest so far for me.
I think the laundry room was a creepy room because it's very old and industrial. In terms of thinking anything's happening, no, I stuck my arm all the way in the hole into the shower for like 10 minutes.
Maybe the ghosts just don't like you.
It's not doing much to boost my belief in all of it. I did feel a little bit of a draft at one point. I got excited, but
I did too. I was over kind of by the entrance, but not close enough that I could have felt something. And it was just like a quick, like,
like, see, here's the thing. Old machinery scares the bejesus out of me anyway.
Yeah.
So if I was going to be like freaked out in general, that would be the place for it to happen. And it was like nothing. Even with a machine called the Mangler,
right? Of all things.
of all things,
Yeah.
nothing.
Death row, where all the baddest of the guys were.
Did they change it
Certainly not to
It's
see
time to
anyone
talk
there.
to little Snowden. Raymond.
Oh, Snowden.
Raymond.
My
See the guy
guy.
who gave away all the spy secrets?
That's the other Snowden. There's two. Snowden was a murderer, wasn't he?
Snowden? Correct.
The Raymond Snowden?
Oh.
Not Edward or whatever his name is.
The original.
Yeah. The OG Snowden.
So far, what do you think? Yes, no? Is this getting less creepy as you go along?
It's just like the same level of creepy. I honestly just think at this point it's because it's dark.
Oh yeah, no, I mean there's definitely a, it's an old abandoned place that looks like a giant castle. Like I said about the machines in there, like
Yeah.
those kind of things to me are creepy on their own.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there was nothing.
Well, that and a lot of death has actually happened here between riots and suicides and murders. So that has to come into play at some point. Because that's not going to happen in your everyday home. It doesn't happen at a cemetery just because they're buried there. Doesn't mean that's where the tragedy happened.
Yeah, fair enough.
This is a maximum security area for some of the most frightening inmates we've had. I'm going to let you guys investigate for a minute, then I'll tell you a little bit about what has been occurred here. So any ladies who would like to sit up against the cell like as we have here, one of the things that can happen in this maximum security area is the inmates might play with your hair. That has happened before. So if we have any ladies who want to sit down in front of the cells and see if it happens, feel free.
This is a
Standing by the cell.
Yes, they can.
All right, guys, if you're in here and you would like to say hi to the ladies by touching their hair, please do it now.
Or don't.
Lots of pretty hair. Should we turn our lights off? Can you whisper something into the ear of one of the ladies while you're playing with their hair? Tell them who you are.
It was a little like the idea of having something touch me was like the creepiest part. But
So it's like the situation was creepy, but nothing
Yeah.
creepy actually happened.
yeah.
If you pass inspection, we're gonna have some girls and guys, whoever wants to sit in front of the bars and give you the same opportunity the other side had to play with their hair.
you're in a room where people were like literally killed
Yeah.
and just like
Or waiting to be killed.
or waiting to be killed, and it's just weird. It just to me it's just like an empty place. Like I don't notice anything. Like I actually expected it to be heavier in sensation than it was, and it was just like, oh. One of the gals was saying they saw on their phone they had one of those little balls, you know,
The orbs.
yeah. Someone was saying they got a couple photos up there in the gallows room with those things floating around, but I don't know how legit those are.
Yeah, I don't know about orbs and stuff.
I don't know either.
Different places are going to react differently to different people. So like you may walk in the run and just nothing, and everyone else has something go on, and then you switch a building and you're like, dude, this place is crazy. I'm having all this weird experiences, and then no one's like, what are you talking about? I haven't seen anything. It's going to be all individual. Sometimes though, that's all you'll catch is you'll be like, you'll watch it and like, oh, that looked weird, and then you go back and then you just start doing frame by frame by frame, like, whoa, like there really was like somebody's like, and then gone, or like you pan and you just catch somebody out of the, like a silhouette.
Yeah.
So I've had times where I'd be looking across an attic and I'm just like, I go to turn my head and somebody walks past a window and it's like the only light in the entire room. Of course, it's so dim you can't see anything, but it's just enough light to block the whole light in the room. You're like, okay, shine your light, there's nothing there. Like, all right, that was weird because that obviously blocked the light, but I didn't see it full on because I wasn't paying attention. I was looking over here because whatever, you know, I was like, gosh.
I was sitting here just being a newbie, kind of like minding my own business. And I just got the sense that there was something kind of not right with the cell. And so everybody else in the group, when it was time to go to the other side, went over to the other side, and I kind of peeked back around. And I heard something metal in here just clang and come toward me. It scared the crap out of me. And you know how they say don't run? Yeah, I did go at a fairly good pace to the other side. And I went to the guy who was leading the team that I was on. And I said, there was some kind of noise, something clanged over there. And he looked at me and goes, well, go investigate. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's what we're here for, yeah. And then I came over, and I was such a chicken, I'm not kidding you. Like, when I came through this door, I was peeking around and going, okay, clink. And then, like, you know, and then I heard some more stuff in there, and I just turned around and I just got out. But yeah, it was definitely the cell that kind of made me go, what?
No, me too. I don't mix faith in ghosts. No.
Some people have heard things, some people have felt things. One lady got her boobs grabbed.
What?
Yeah, it just happened like right there.
Just now.
Well, maybe not. Like she does, like it felt like a bug, like going down her shirt.
Oh. Or
But
a
she-
ghost finger.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. Because it was really weird.
I don't know, like, to me, this stuff isn't scary. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it would startle the bejesus out of me, you know, but I don't think it would, like, scare.
Oh, it 100% would.
Yeah.
But it would startle anybody, especially, like, even if, like, you're sitting in a classroom and somebody drops a book on a desk. Dude, you're going to jump. I don't care who you are, especially if you're not expecting it.
Right.
But I think that the scary factor, I don't know. I guess it depends on. Some people are really scared of the unknown. This is all unknown for everybody, really.
And I just felt sad. Like, I just thought about like being locked up in a jail cell and never feeling love. That would be sad.
That probably would be sad. How do you know they didn't feel love, though?
That's true. Maybe they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like probably if you're locked up in a jail cell, you probably didn't get to experience that, especially in maximum security. But I could be wrong.
Could be wrong. I don't know. Not an expert.
I'm not an expert on love. I'm not an expert on ghosts. So,
I'm an expert on donuts.
I'm an expert on donuts also. Yeah.